Right. So just more reason to think about what you are protecting. And, I guess it comes back to like, you're never fully secure, right? You can always be more secure. So it's not about only patching vulnerabilities, but identifying when a breach happens, how bad is it going to be and how do you mitigate that? Is that the kind of the angle that we need to be thinking about? Like, these things are improving, they're getting faster. We are going to get to a place where they are doing way more sophisticated attacks by all accounts that we're seeing. All the reports of the kind of vulnerabilities these new tools are finding. They're finding things that professional auditors missed for like sometimes a decade or 5 years or plus, right? The quarterly audits and no one ever found it. So that kind of stuff is going to happen. But you're suggesting that a CISO should focus on, sooner or later they're going to get through. They're going to succeed in their attack. And how do you mitigate that to make sure that you're not disrupted? That's the idea, right?
Exactly. I mean, I think that, your attack surface keep expanding. And my mantra is that you cannot protect everything. There's a misconception of, tools in the past few years or technologies or approaches in the past few years that are trying to give you that sense of let's protect everything equally. And the fact is that you cannot protect everything equally. And if you try to do that, you're just going to fail and you keep, missing the important things. So, when attacks keep getting more sophisticated, you need to assume that you are going to get breached. Those entry points or external exposures are going to get, exploited eventually. They are going to get in. But the mission for the CISO is to make sure that once they get in, they have nowhere to go. Or when they do get to somewhere, they got to somewhere that is not going to necessarily hurt the business. For years there's been this, approach of defense in layers. And I still very much stand by it. You need to make it harder for the attacker. You need to assume that they're going to get in, but you need to make sure that it gets harder for him to actually get to the stuff that he came for. If I was an attacker and I was to breach an organization from a specific, entry point, and I would get to somewhere and I would have nowhere else to go, or I got to a specific server from a critical severity vulnerability and eventually said, okay, this is the maximum I can go. And then, for trying to go further, it's not worth my time because it's too hard. That's what you want to make the attacker think. You want to make it not worth their while to attack you. And that's not going to come by trying to protect everything all at once. It's by protecting exactly what they came to take.